Hey all, how you doing this week? Welcome, I'm Christy. This is Astrology and Tarot for the week of March the 28th through April 3rd. Happy Easter if you celebrate. Easter's today. I'm recording the video on Sunday, March 27th. This week is an interesting week. I'm not going to get too crazy into astrology this week. I'm actually going to do tarot, a lot of tarot this week. But what we're focusing on right now with everything is Saturn, the planet of structure, the planet of your job, career, bosses, male authority figures, your father, everything very, the Hierophant card, I like to say, is Saturn, even though a lot of people might not say. Structure to the highest degree. Saturn, for those who've gone through their Saturn return, 1986 is going through their Saturn return this year, and that's a cycle that's every 28 to 30 years. Saturn moves. And our Saturn returns are surrounding our first Saturn return, for 1986. Our Saturn returns are about finding our adulthood, basically coming into our own, our career, our solidifier. If it's definitely Saturn cycles in 10 as well, ruled by Capricorn, ruler of Capricorn, and Aquarius as well, but traditionally Capricorn is associated with Saturn. And Saturn went retrograde on Friday at 4:56 a.m. on Eastern Standard Time, stationed at the degree of 16 Sagittarius. So what Saturn is doing is actually squaring, meaning it's in sort of a locked energy with the energy of the eclipse on March 8th. And what that energy is doing, so look back to your old emails from March 8th, to the video about the new moon eclipse in Pisces on March 8th, because if you have anything at a mutable degree, and that is between, let's say, 10 to 20. I'm giving it a huge range for this eclipse. Even at this point, if you have anything in Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo, Gemini, you're definitely feeling the energy this week. It's locking you. It's saying you are a mutable sign, but this year you're actually more fixed. You're actually asked to do things that are more solid and steady and growing. And I'm feeling this energy for sure this year, because my life has completely disintegrated. I'm the Tower card for sure, and I'm rebuilding and restructuring. So this Saturn energy is hitting me. My Saturn return actually took place on December 18th, like exactly at the degree that Saturn is retrograde. Saturn is moving between 16 and 9 degrees Sagittarius this year, and will clear the retrograde on August 13th at 4:54 in the morning, and will be at 9 degrees Sagittarius. So if you have anything in the early mutables to mid-mutables, you're going to be feeling this push-pull energy, and it's definitely going to be focused on career and steadier relationships, steady commitments, steadier love relationships, steadier choices towards relationships, steadier choices towards healing relationships with fathers and male authority figures, and then also steadier relationships with understanding what proper authority is in your life. I picked this card before the reading. It's an angel card, and it's follow the signs towards what you're striving towards your dreams and your goals. And I picked that card for Saturn. Saturn is a heavy, heavy energy, so if I cry during this video, it's because I'm going through some Saturn stuff right now. And it's about choices, really. So, sometimes you make a choice in your life, and it's for the best of your life, but it can always be very painful, you know? So, I was trying to find a good pocket of time to make this video today, but I think that what I'm going through is actually reflecting this energy this week. And right now, the moon, and this is being recorded at 5 p.m. Sunday, March 27th in New York City, the moon is in Scorpio, so it's processing last week's full moon eclipse in Libra around relationships. And it had a lot to do with romantic partnerships for many people, and I read for a lot of people last week with tarot and astrology. And everybody that was coming to me was saying, I'm having this romantic issue. And the common, and this is the common story that I kept hearing, and this is also regarding myself. I had this great person in my life. They came in, they helped me to understand some sort of bigger issue. And then there was this thing that happened where you kick them out and you say, I can't handle this right now. I can't do this right now. And I'm pulling a card as I'm talking. And then they go. And then you have time to process. But a lot of things that came out during the full moon last week on March 23rd was processing the anger regarding relationship issues. And so as I'm talking, I pulled the Six of Swords, which is a victory card, but it's also moving forward and into the new realm, because this guy is in his own boat. He's chosen what he's wanted, and he's taken it in his boat, but he's moving forward. He's moving on. Now, it doesn't have to be physical people, because in this card, he does have people with him. He has a family, a little kid. But you have to decide what that is for you. And in my case, I chose my career over love. And that's what I was processing last week. So I'm not sure what other people chose, but that's just a personal little vignette of what I did. And sometimes it's hard when you choose something over something else, because you're still mourning the thing that you chose over. There's always a mourning period. There's always a death. Whenever you choose something, there's another death that occurs. And unless you push those emotions, and Saturn in Sagittarius is saying you can't hide from your emotions anymore, because Saturn, even though Saturn is a cold planet, the emotions are more verbal, they're more expressed, and they're in a T-square with Neptune. Venus moved last week, so Venus is no longer in that T-square. Venus is at 27 degrees Pisces right now. But the information was definitely given to this T-square with Jupiter, which is also in retrograde. Jupiter being in Virgo, so it's about healthier choices. And I picked two cards as I'm shuffling. Strength, Major Arcana here. We have the strength to move forward. All of us. Anybody out there who is looking for some kind of recommendation is finding your inner lion, lioness, that inner growl, that inner ideal, that creative impetus. And she has infinity over her head. She has the ability to manifest using her own Saturnic strength. So if we were going to literally look at this right now with these energies, this is a fire card, but it's a rooted fire. Generally Leo, In this case, though, Saturn is in a fire sign and has the ability to almost manifest things with organization, structure. Even though Sagittarius can be a little bit, of out there, this is saying, hey Sag, be more grounded. Almost think of yourself as a Leo. Leo's a fixed sign. So Saturn's here to make you stand strong. And everybody's feeling this Saturn energy. The Two of Pentacles. Learning to balance your material world, and this is a material world card. Learning to live in the material world. Learning to find structure in the material world. So these are two structure cards here. And this one is also air over water, so learning to properly let yourself understand what needs to come in that boat with you, what needs to come within your journey, be part of your journey. I think I pulled this a couple weeks ago for the eclipse in Pisces, and it's still strong today. Who is in your boat with you, and how do they help you manifest a more solid future? Okay, I'm going to pull a card for heart chakra, for romance, for love. I'm pulling a card for love, and then I'll pull a card for career. So this is for love. It's in reverse. Ay, Dios. Okay, so it's in reverse, but I'm just making emphasis that it's in reverse. The Five of Wands. And this is about quarrels, fights, disagreements in love. It could be in your own heart. It came in reverse, which could mean that you're getting over the quarrel. It's the time to process the quarrel. It already happened. The fight already occurred. It could be an internal fight, but it's still there. It's still marking your heart. And I'll pull another card for love. To how to work on this. Five of Wands. Top card. Eight of Wands. This could mean that information is coming to you that solidifies what you're feeling. It could be a physical letter or email or phone call or text message, some form of actual verbal written communication, or it could just mean that an idea comes in where you're like, that is what this was all about. That's what this fight was all about. It had nothing to do with XYZ. It had everything to do with finding my own balance and finding my own strength here. And it could be as easy as that. Or it could be somebody, sends you an apology. In this case, I really think it's more of an internal thing, but because Saturn is internal, it is more of an internal realization to the work that you do. Okay, so this is for career for the week. The Eight of Swords. And this card was also pulled with the eclipse. So a lot of the eclipse cards are coming up. So I feel like this whole energy is actually taking us back to the eclipse, but with a more structured look. It's not just the emotional look now. It's actually processing the emotions. So I feel if they're all tied, if your love and career is tied together, there is some internal struggles going on regarding career or regarding decisions made. But this one's saying that you're actually not tied up. You actually have the answer, and you can actually untie yourself and turn around, because guess what? When you turn around, there's a castle behind you, and you know which way to go. She's not tied to the sword. She is not tied up. She thinks she's tied up. There's a difference. She thinks in that card that she doesn't have any options, that she doesn't have a way to go. But she totally had, like, if she turned around, it'd be like, oh my god, it's like frozen back here. Like, oh wow, there's a castle back here. And that's really cool, because it's pretty. And I'm trying to think. I'm going to do one more for career. This one comes out. Oh, that's nice. Once she decides where to go, guess who comes in? The 10 of Cups. Once you make that decision that this is it, this is the path I'm going to follow, I don't need to be tied up anymore. Beauty and fulfillment. 10 of Cups is often seen as love, family, marriage. It's not like the 4 of Wands, which is seen as the typical marriage card. It's seen more as the overall creative love, harmony, beauty coming in once you commit to that decision. So I think these are pretty awesome cards for the week, because it's really battling with your own internal stuff. And that's what Saturn is talking about. And it's taking us through stories from December 19th. And this story is going to be in kind of back and forth with the Mars retrograde, which will be on April 17th. So these stories are kind of coinciding with each other, and it has a lot to do with career and love. It's very much par for par. It's very much like last summer, last June into October, there was a love story going on with Saturn and Venus. So now this is the more masculine form of the story, and it's more of last summer was the wishes, and so this winter into summer is the physical relationship to that. Mars is the physical manifestation of that. So, oracle cards this week. Remember, I started out with signs. Follow the signs where you're supposed to go. There will be signs, and you already know these signs possibly. I'll do 2 more. And this might be for Saturn. Retreat. Go into yourself. Meditation, or even if you have the ability to go on a physical retreat or vacation, that's great. If you can't, Saturn says just pick a day of the week and just don't talk to anybody. Because Saturn is an internal energy. And a lot of, Saturn people, and it doesn't have to be Capricorn, it can be like the internal energy of Saturn, are very internal and have very private lives. I have a Saturn ascendant, and I'm a very internal person. So these videos are kind of my way of expressing. By the end of the week, or throughout this week, this recharge will help you to emerge. And I feel like this kind of coincides with the 10 of Cups pulled earlier. When you go internal, your batteries can help the energy along. The end of the week, the moons this week are moving today through Scorpio, and then we'll be moving all the way through Sagittarius. So at that point, at some point this week, midweek, Tuesday, the moon will be over that that Saturn point in Sagittarius. So there will be an emotional sort of needing to go and retreat this week because Saturn and the moon will be hitting each other. So the emotions and the need to be alone will come together. And then even further, the moon will be moving into Saturn's sign of Capricorn. So it's like Saturn point, need to go internal emotionally, and then I need to go internal even more when the moon is in Capricorn. And it might even just be like you have an hour to yourself and go to a coffee shop, and even though you're in public, you have your headphones in and you just write out as much as you can about planning and career and emotions regarding the eclipse. And then at the back end of the week, Saturday, Sunday, the moon will be moving through Aquarius, which is more out in the world type energy. So there is a lot of internal energy this week kind of being hit. But at the end of the week, there is a nice little retreat from the emotions because Aquarius is a bit more detached and a little bit more free. So Saturday, Sunday will be a lot nicer. Even Friday, late night, will be a lot nicer energy regarding if you're going through an emotional sort of thing. Do I want to pull another card? Oh, I do, because I'm pulling cards for an Aquarius friend who I promised I would pull a card on my video this week. If you find these cards resonate with you, then you are also going, that's totally fine. It means you needed to see it. So this portion of the video is for my Aquarius friend, Lady, who is awesome and did a tarot exchange with me this week. I'm just pulling 3 cards for you. So the first card is the 3 of Cups. And that's very nice. That's a very nice harmonious energy. The 3 of Cups is saying that this is often relationships, partnerships, generally seen as falling in love. It could be falling in love with a new love interest, or it could be falling in love with what you're doing, with what you are going and striving towards. So that's a nice card. The middle card is, actually they're 2 stuck together, so lucky. Alright, the Queen of Pentacles, finding your earth goddess energy, finding that I am in charge of my own material world and nobody can fuck with me, paired with the Knight of Cups. So it could mean a physical person, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, male sort of energy coming in and offering a cup, offering love. It could be also that you're balancing the feminine and the masculine side is a little bit, needs a little more maturity, so the feminine side will be balancing that energy out as well, which is really cool because the masculine energy in this reading is emotionally kind and sweet and positive. And finally, ideas and inspiration, really going towards this energy of finding harmony, finding balance, finding peace in your own creative junctures. And I know this person, so the ideas that you have for whatever you're going towards will really bring a nice harmonious balance, remembering to go with the emotions, and remembering you're a goddess. Woohoo! Alright. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a lovely week, everybody. Thank you for watching my videos and for the amazing messages I've gotten from people who really enjoy it. I love you all, and I hope you have a great week. Take care. Peace and love.